What's going on? My name is Dan, and this is a $600 coffee table, which today we're gonna turn into a pallet. Why would anyone be crazy enough to turn a $600 coffee table into a pallet? I'll tell you why. All over the internet, it's a trend right now. $600 coffee table from a pallet, $5,000 coffee table from a pallet, $1 million coffee table from a pallet. Well, I'm here to break that trend. And this is how we're gonna do it. All right, first thing we gotta do is gingerly, very carefully take this thing apart. So let's get started. That wasn't so gingerly or carefully. Oops. Oh yeah. Smell the wood. Be the wood. All right, after what seemed about an hour, I even lost my breath. Here is the final product of the disassembly, at least. And I am genuinely impressed. Not only did they use a bazillion amount of screws and equally as much brackets, but they even put glue everywhere. I mean, this is some next level Japanese joinery stuff. All right, phase one complete. Disassemble the $10,000 coffee table. Now phase two is to take all the material that we just broke down, get it marked out and cut to length and to size. Now I'm gonna use the top of the table for the structural frame of the pallet. You see, it is a much thicker piece of board. It's solid, so is the rest of the table. But this is gonna be the rails and the box that holds everything together. You did good, my friend. You did good. got the pieces cut to width, cut to length, jointed on these sides, and planed to thickness. And I'm not gonna lie, guys, but this is some really nice wood. Look at that figure. That is gonna make a fantastic pallet. And I'm thinking of doing 47 long by 32 wide. And then we're gonna fill in the middle with the slats like a typical pallet is. We'll also have to cut in some fancy scroll work right here. And that's typically where the forks of the forklift are gonna go through. So we'll go 3 inches off the edge, and we'll go 2 inches off the top, so we'll take an inch off. All right, and then to make the mark, I just find whatever I have around the shop, which today is a cooking scale. So I'll place that right there, make sure it's square. And look at that. Now I'm just gonna do that to all 3 of them and get them all cut out. All right, so here we got a rough cut, which now I can translate to all my other pieces. Perfect. All right, after about a half hour at the bandsaw, I got all my pieces cut out right there and on this side here. They are a little rough, which, you know, for a coffee table, that would be fine right there. But for a pallet, I think we can do better than that. So I'm gonna make a jig that's gonna slap over this and then use a flush cut router bit to clean up all those edges and make everything uniform, nice and square. Because like I said, we're building a pallet, not a $600 coffee table. For my sophisticated jig here, I just got some scrap MDF, which I nailed together, and then made it all square, and that bearing right there is gonna ride and follow this edge, and hopefully gives me a nice clean cut. And that turned out very nice. Now let's do it on all the remaining ones. Can't help but notice that you guys are still here. So, if you don't mind, hit that like button. That'd really help me out. Thanks. As you may have guessed by my slow motion shots, that these things turned out perfect. Now, next step is gonna be cutting and ripping down the slats that go on top, getting those all milled up and looking just as nice as these. Now for the top slats, I have the slightly less thicker material. So the top was about 3/4 to an inch. This is about 1/2 inch. We're gonna use this for the top slats. And I have a pretty good piece, so we should have plenty of material to go around. So let's get cutting. I love sawdust. Well, all the edges are rounded over. Next part is sanding. Oh, I personally love sanding. I don't know why people say they don't like sanding. I love sanding. I sand by hand. You can just sand. Like, seriously, you guys, I'm just gonna set it up and you guys can just watch me sand, okay? I'm actually kidding. I don't like it that much. I'm probably just gonna use the orbital sander on this. Yeah, sorry guys. All right, now that all my slats are clear coated, it's time to start marking out the holes for this to be attached to the main rails. So I know that the main rail is going to sit 1 inch in from this edge, so I put a mark there, and then the main rails are 1 inch thick. So from this edge inward, 1.5 inches, and to make it easy, remember this jig? Yep, same one. I'm going to put that on there. Mark it out, line this up with that edge, drill a hole there, and this will be the perfect mark for every single slat that I need to drill. Perfect. Pilot hole drilled. We're going to go ahead and drill a 3/8 hole right there. All right, along with that tiny little pilot hole that we did right there, I went ahead and enlarged the hole using a 3/8 bit. Now, one would question, why would you do that? Why? Well, you'll see. You'll see. All right, now to answer the question of the oversized 3/8 hole, what we're gonna do, take a little bit of glue, drop that in there, take a 3/8 oak dowel, drop that in there, take our flush cut saw, take our hammer, and voila. glue squeeze out. And just like that, it's a wrap on the $600 coffee table to pallet video. And you know, me personally, I like it more as a pallet as I did a table. You know, maybe it's time for the trend to change and we're gonna see more pallets being made on YouTube instead of those dingy, ugly, no good for nothing coffee tables. Am I right? And if I am right, hit that thumbs up button. And if I'm not, hit that subscribe button. And if you like this kind of content, stick around for more, because I promise you, whatever I post on this channel will be entertaining. So, till next time, I'm Dan.